All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Lavaca County Commissioners Court. We've got a full courtroom today, looks like. Today is the 23rd day of February 2026, and this is your 9 a.m. regular edition of Lavaca County Commissioners Court. And with that, we will start with a roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Present.
Precinct 4 is out sick today, and the judge is here, so let the record reflect that 4 out of 5 of us are here, and we do have a quorum. And with that, we will stand for invocation. I'm going to ask that Mr. Edward Puska, Commissioner Precinct 1, lead us in prayer today.
Lord, thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you for the rain that you've sent us recently. We would still ask that you send some more. We need moisture for the plants, grass, trees, everything to grow. We need water for our tanks and streams. And we want to ask that you help guide us to make the right decisions this morning as we conduct county business. We also want you to help each and every candidate that is running for office, bless them and their families. And we want you to bless us for all that you do for us. We ask you this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Now our pledges. I
I
pledge
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Puska, for that beautiful prayer. Again, we've got a big docket today, or it'd be a big docket. It may take us some time to get through some of these issues. We're going to do some rearranging here as well. We've got Judge Old's going to come down after his docket call and wants to say a few words as well. So when Judge Old gets here, we're going to get his agenda item up the stream here. With that, agenda item number 1, announcements, public comments. Do we have anything from the public? Lorena, you want to say something? You would state your name for the court and who you're representing today.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, and everyone here. My name is Lorena Cognac, and I'm the president of Great State Republicans, a women's club here in Hallettsville, Texas. And it's been a while, but we are having our first meeting of the year this evening at 7 p.m. And our speaker is going to be Connie Burton, and she is the founder and CEO of an online publication, political publication called The Texan. And she will be speaking this evening, so we hope you can join us. Also, I would like for those of you who are thinking about it, our precinct and county conventions will be on March 28th. That's when we decide who the delegates and alternates will be going to the state convention, which is in June. And there's even a incentive program for young adults, voting adults. So more to come on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from the public? Any other comments? Report? Going once, going twice. I did go to the VG Young's conference. I'll put that on an agenda item, so I'll discuss that later today about all that I learned. So with that, we're going to go right into number 2. We got a large audience here. I think they're eager to get back to class, if I understand right. Agenda item number 2 is a proclamation declaring February 26, 2026 as Hallettsville-Brahma News Network Day. I'm going to read that proclamation. It says proclamation declaring February 26, 2026 as Hallettsville-Brahma News Network Day. Whereas scholastic journalism plays a vital role in educating students about responsible communication, ethical reporting, critical thinking, and civic engagement. And whereas National Scholastic Journalism Week, observed February 23rd through the 27th of 2026 is a nationally recognized celebration honoring student journalists and the essential role they play in informing school communities and developing future leaders in media and public service. And whereas the Halsville Bremen News Network is the comprehensive student-led journalism program at Halsville High School, providing students with real-world experience in journalism, broadcasting, publishing, photography, videography, design, and digital media production. And whereas under the HBNN umbrella, students produce multiple respected publications, including the Bremen News Network broadcast program, the Lariat student newspaper, and the Bremen Yearbook, each of which reflects a commitment to accuracy, creativity, professionalism, and community representation. And whereas these student journalists serve as a positive voice for Halsville High School by highlighting student achievements, school activities, and community events while upholding standards of ethical and responsible journalism. And whereas the dedication, talent, and leadership demonstrated by HBNN students and advisors contribute significantly to educational excellence and strengthen connections between the school and the greater Halsville community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Commissioners Court of Lavaca County does hereby designate February 26, 2026 as Halsville Bremen News Network Day. Thank you all, students. Do I hear a motion to accept that proclamation?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to adopt that proclamation. All those in favor of adopting, or any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And students, if y'all would come up at this time, we're going to ask y'all to come up here, stand on the front and in the back. We're going to get a picture. Yep. One row in front, one row in the back.
Okay. Yeah. Some of y'all should come around here.
You know this guy. No strangers to court. This way. And teachers as well want to come? Okay.
That's nice.
Filter in the back row, hold in the back row. Don't be shy.
Can you
Don't
get
be
back
shy.
there?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. No.
Anywhere you want to be.
Did I tell you?
Some of my photos like feel a little bit in front. Make yourself seen. How are you doing, sir? I'm doing well.
Squeeze in, squeeze in. Everybody can see.
Can y'all?
How did y'all get through security?
How did we get this?
How did y'all get through security? Everybody. Hey.
Can y'all?
Make sure you see the camera. Everyone can see the
Let me
camera.
push this out.
All right. Cheese.
Did you say cheating?
All right.
One back. One back.
That's good. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. Here we go. One from the back.
Yeah, this recording, you're good. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate what you do. Come on.
You're welcome.
No problem. Thank you.
How you doing?
Just fine. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank y'all.
While we're doing that, Judge Old snuck in the building, so Judge Old, if you'll make your way to the front, you'll be next. Thank you.
You're interested about class. They're smart.
He was a student, but that's the high school.
Judge Old and,
Mason.
Lori, if you want to walk this way, you can come,
Yeah.
start walking this way. All right. What a wonderful group of journalists, young journalists. It's wonderful to see them all here present and smiling in the courtroom today. All right, item number 3 is to acknowledge the sad retirement of Denise Bunach for 23 plus years of dedicated service to the Lavaca County District Clerk's Office. Do you hear a motion?
That's what I moved.
Second.
Heard precinct 3, I heard precinct 2 and precinct 1. So we had a motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to acknowledge the retirement of Denise Bunach for 23 years of dedicated service to the Lavaca County District Clerk's Office. I guess. Denise, thank you for 23 wonderful years of service. I know Judge Joel said he wanted to be here today to honor you, so I'm glad he came here today. It's been a big load of the second floor. One picture. Anyway, y'all come forward.
Okay.
Picture.
No, I'm ready.
You're ready.
Thank you today.
Oh, thank you.
Denise, you look just like you're standing here.
Yeah. Come back and see us. I'm sorry, how you doing? Good.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you, Judge Joel, for coming down. We appreciate you. Thank you, Denise. All right, is my mic back on? I think my mic was off. All right. It's always good to see Judge Old. He's always smiling. We're going to talk about him later now that he's left the building. I'm going to talk about that as it relates to the VG Young report as well, which that brings us right there, number 4. Number 4, Judge's report from the 64th Annual VG Young School for County Commissioners Courts. This was my 4th time attending the VG Young's conference in College Station. It's a wonderful conference. They bring in top speakers on subjects that matter to the judge and the commissioners. There's breakout sessions for the judges, there's breakout sessions for commissioners, and there's combined sessions. I just wanted to highlight some things. It's to me, it's important that, you know, as judges and commissioners and even other officials, we get to go to special conferences and hear things that the public doesn't get to hear. And so I think it's good to bring that information back so everyone gets to hear it. So the main focus for my attendance this year was on tax abatements. We had a 4-hour session with some panelists covering a lot of territory on tax abatements and that issue. Basically, we have to have a 2-year plan. We have to have a plan in place before we can entertain tax abatements. We don't have a tax abatement project coming to us right now, but what I have is I've got 2 of our 4 cities are asking me in this court to adopt that policy, so we have it in place. They can market that policy. They can feed off of it, and they can network with other corporations and some entities that maybe want to take advantage of that. So I went and sat on that session. It was great, just a great wealth of information of things we can do and to not do. But I'm going to be asking in the coming weeks. I'm going to bring some plans back to this court for deliberation and discussion, and then we can start to get that ball rolling. If we do adopt a plan and have that in place, it takes a couple months. It takes at least 30 days public notice to have it out there. It has to be some public hearings. But that was the focus of why I wanted to go down there. But here's some other things that I think that y'all need to know. growth. Texas is growing. That's not a secret. We've talked about it for years. I call him Senator Hager. What's his first name? Hager. Glenn Hager. He's now the chancellor of A&M. He spoke to us at a lunch meeting. When he first took office, he said we were the 12th largest economy in the world. If you broke out Texas from the United States, the 12th largest economy. And he's not taking credit for it, but he said over time, we went from 12 to 10 to 9 to 8. So Texas is now believed to be the 8th largest economy in the world. He said, and we're heading to 7. We're going to be in 7 pretty quick. So Texas has been growing. We've been squeezed in between that growth, but it's here, and I just wanted, that's an important number to grasp around. It's causing, the general theme of the conference was growing pains. Every county's experienced some kind of growing pain. And from a county that's got 1,800 people, one county in West Texas has 1,800 residents, but they have 8,000 workers in their county right now working. That puts a severe amount of growing pains on that county to service the workers that are working on duty. So nearly all counties were experiencing some kind of pain, whether it's pains from unfunded mandates, which we talked about. We're always having to comply. Every department here is having to comply with some kind of unfunded mandate. That's growing pains. But the growth itself, there's a cause and effect relationship. For every one person that moves into Lavaca County, that causes us to move a little bit further, in another direction, whether it's EMS, fire. You've seen that. We've gone from 5 fire departments to 6 fire departments. So we have some growing pains as well. Stability. We had a state economist talk to us, several state economists. The overall stability of Lavaca County has been stable compared to recessions in the world. The United States, we have fared quite well. You might have your stock markets affected by something on a national level, but by and large, we haven't had mass layoffs in Lavaca County anywhere near here that we couldn't absorb. I think Eddie Packing had some layoffs at one time, but it didn't seem to impact a whole lot of people. We were able to absorb that. So the cattle industry has been strong in Lavaca County. We're still the #1 calf producing county in the state of Texas. We're very proud of that. And we grow those cattle whether they're profitable or not. And that's been a long-term trend for 50 years. And I'm seeing some people shake heads. We remember some lean times where, why are we doing this? I don't know. But we keep doing it because it's the right thing to do. But cattle's been good for Lavaca County, and it's very good right now. They talked about investment policy. We've glanced over the subject. I want to get with the treasurer after this meeting and in the coming weeks, look at our investment policy. We go after a bank every 2 years that gives us an interest rate and earn money on our accounts, but we haven't looked at short-term versus long-term investing. Do we need to put some monies in a long-term investment strategy and make more interest than we're making now? So that's one issue that caught my eye. Urban growth. And this is the thing I told the commissioners earlier. I was going to wow you with a figure. State economists are telling us that state of Texas is losing 1,023 farm acres every single day. 1,023 agriculture acres are lost to urban growth or building of some kind, whether it's home dwellings or some kind of urban growth. That's a big number. And they keep telling us that that trend does not reverse itself. Once you've lost ag land, it just never goes back into ag. So that's a scary thing for Texas, especially sitting right here. We're in some of the most prime fertile grounds in Texas. You lose 1,000 acres of West Texas ag land, and that was a couple cows. You lose 1,000 acres here, that's 200 cows are lost and that do not have the range to grow on. So have we experienced some of that in Lavaca County? Yes, we have. Is it 1,023 a day? No, but it could be very well 1,023 a year or more. So the growth is hurting our ag lands. Another topic was public-private partnerships. The acronym they use is P3 partnerships. I wasn't very familiar with this, but it made sense. The federal government is probably more adept at taking advantage of this. Take your U.S. Post Office, for example. If the U.S. Postal Service needs a new location, they'll take advantage of a private company to build the post office and then lease it back to that entity. And there's Counties haven't had to do that as much. We're not as well versed in that language. And I'm not saying that Lavaca County has to do that, but it's an option that's on the table and something that we could look at down the road. And I'll give you some examples. Chambers County Judge Jimmy Sylvia, I believe it is. Jimmy Sylvia is not running for office, so he was very vocal on this subject. He said they tried back in, I think, the 90s to pass a $52 million bond for a new jail, and that bond failed in Chambers County. He said, but the problem didn't go away. We needed a new jail, and the public said no to $52 million, so they kicked the can down the road, and now it turned into a $165 million project. The jail had to be bigger, cost more money, yada, yada. So basically, the theme of the conference was build it now. Do not kick the can down the road because it will cost you more money later. And I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying we're ready to build something, but it's the writing is on the wall. We cannot sit here and let all our infrastructure deteriorate to the point we have to build everything new. And so we need to take advantage and take care of the buildings we do have. Lastly, and there was a bunch of subject matters, but lastly, the most important to me in the judicial segment was court security. We've been talking about mental health in this courtroom. We've been talking about the need for mental health deputies. We've been talking about a growing mental health crisis. Your court systems, by and large, are filtering those crises through the court system. And so last year, Texas had over 1,500 some odd incidents in Texas courtrooms. Over 1,500. That was a staggering number to us. But and this was just judges in a room. But as the judges start talking about their own crises, we're realizing some of these incidents aren't even getting reported. So that's a crazy number. This is a presentation by OCA. So to our clerks in the room, OCA was giving this report, over 1,500 courtroom incidents. And we'll talk about it publicly here because it's public knowledge, but Judge Old had an incident in Guadalupe County. A defendant was sentenced to state jail, and he pulled out a plastic knife and started stabbing himself in the courtroom, right there in front of Judge Old in the courtroom. I think he got at least 5 stab wounds in his neck before they were able to subdue him and stop him. You notice today, courtroom security was a little bit tighter. We have a lot of criminal elements coming through here. We have to be aware of our surroundings. We have to be aware of the mental crisis as it relates to these defendants coming through our courtroom. Tax office, I'm looking at the tax office. You got the same mental patients, mental people paying taxes. They don't want to pay their taxes. Clerks, it affects everyone. And so courtroom security is a big deal. We've been making plans. This court that's not a secret to us, but I just wanted to highlight some of the things we talked about at the VG Young Conference. So do you have any questions or comments or discussions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Just want to brief everybody. All right. Thank you. Number 5, discuss and approve reimbursing the Lavaca County Commissioners Precinct 2, line item 302-5622-3150 in the amount of $7,175.55 from the Lavaca County Attorney Trust Fund for restitution from District Court in reference to stolen culverts. That's brought out of Precinct 2. Anything you want to?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. Yes, the system works. It kind of helps the two that we have, I guess, criminals who continue to be repetitive. And criminals always aren't the brightest people in the world, but these people didn't come back once to get culverts. They came back 3 times. And so on the third, but what we did after the first day, after we contacted the sheriff's office, got some game cameras and set them up. And so we caught them and then had the sheriff's office involved in this. And so because it's a mid-budget type of asset, it has to be approved through Commissioner's Court to go back. So we didn't get just the culverts back, but we also got back $7,175.55. So through a collaborative effort of the sheriff's office and through the county attorney's office and prosecuting these people, we have money to go back into our line item in order to purchase the culverts that we lost. And so that's what this is. It's being held by the treasurer's office. And so I asked that the court would approve us depositing that money back into that fund.
All right, I hear a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, seconded by precinct 1 to approve reimbursing the Lavaca County Commissioners Precinct 2 line item in the amount of $7,175.55 from the Lavaca County Attorney Trust Fund for the restitution from district court in reference to stolen culverts. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 6, acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation declaring and renewing a state of disaster in a certain number of counties based on the existence of serious drought conditions that pose an imminent threat of widespread or severe damage, injury, or loss of life or property, including the increased risk of wildfire danger. Again, he just renewed this again. He's kind of keeping on the forefront. Texas had some fires and we've had some dangerous situations. We are not under burn ban currently. Mr. Decker, you want to come up here and Chief Decker explain anything to us? We'll kind of combine 6 and 7 together here.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. So in regards to the governor's proclamation, of course, the short standing is, yes, we did get some rain recently. There's some green grasses growing. Long standing, if you drive around the county enough, you can see how many empty tanks we have, right? We have no bottom moisture. Got some top moisture that's soaked in after the last couple of rains that we've had, which has promoted some green growth, and we'll talk about that here when we talk about the burn ban. But obviously, we don't have any of that moisture that's down deep. So that's the reason why we're triggering under this proclamation by the governor. Lavaca County is very dry when it comes to the long term of everything. So.
Right. And this, I guess it said we've been in a 5-year drought. We're heading into year 6, what it sounds like.
Yes, sir. And I mean, to get back up where we need to be, it's going to take a lot of rain. A lot of rain. That's no surprise for anybody as far as farmers and ranchers. They're feeling it the most right now. So it's going to take quite a bit of rain to get us back up out of this drought condition. So I see this continuing on for a while.
Okay. Again, we don't have to take a vote on acknowledging the Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation, but no secret that we are in that realm of Texas hotspots. What is our KBDI reading?
As of yesterday, we're at 495. I expect that to hit probably right at a 500 today or tomorrow. We did have a red flag warning over the weekend. Humidity was very low, wind was very high. Luckily, I'm glad to report that we didn't have any fires that we had to go out to. Everybody kind of heeded those warnings, and I want to tell everybody, if you don't have to burn, please don't burn. But everybody seems to have been very responsible lately. A lot of our fire departments, the fires in general have been somewhat of a low, which is good. I don't want to speak too much to that, but we've been doing okay to this point. I talked with the fire chiefs this weekend, kind of to see where they were at as far as conditions in their area. We do have some green grass on the ground. The biggest thing, again, is that fire spread when we have dry tinder on the ground. A lot of that green grass has kind of come up. That kind of inhibits a little bit of that spread that we have to worry about. We're still holding some of that top moisture as well too. The fire chiefs right now, being that we're at or just under 500, the fire chiefs are still comfortable leaving it off at this time. They do want to portray that to everybody to please call into the sheriff's office if you're going to have a controlled burn. If you don't need to burn, don't burn. This is kind of that time of the year. A lot of people are plowing, disking, they're burning off maybe some of the hay that they've had on the ground that they're bringing together. So they don't want to inhibit that while we do have some of this green grass and some of that moisture. But be prepared here in the near future because we're reaching into the 80s this week. It's going to start drying out pretty quick. That topsoil, that top moisture is going to be going away pretty quick. So as always, we're okay with leaving it off, but we want to stay on the agenda to be able to kind of keep you guys updated with the conditions in everybody's area, not just Hallettsville, not just Shiner, Moulton, but just to kind of give you a collaborative assessment of where we are in the county.
And just, I guess from the judge's perspective, just let the fire chief know if we needed to make an adjustment between now and next court meeting, we'll be prepared to make that declaration if we need to.
We will. Again, I kind of convene with them, and especially once we start getting up over about that 500. And just as a reminder, so the KBDI is the Keach-Byram Drought Index. That measures the top 8 inches of topsoil. Basically, how saturated that soil is in that 8 inches gives you that number. So us being at 495, that's about 4 inches down before we start really hitting that moisture. And that's kind of a catch-22 because a lot of our moisture is sitting on top right now. But during the winter months, we usually go by the number of about 550 is when the fire chief starts seeing a lot of the fires that start coming around, is when we start getting into some of that issue. In the summertime, we kind of bump that number back to about 500 because conditions, of course, are a little bit different. It's a lot hotter outside. That grass on the ground has already kind of reached its dead point. So being that we're still in some of those winter months, we're still going by about that 550 mark. And again, we don't like to go off of how many fires we've had, but it's kind of shown that we haven't had a whole lot of fires right now. Again, that goes back to the responsibility of the county and those folks being prepared when they do burn. So we're going to keep it at that for right now, but we'll report back as that number continues to increase.
All right. Any commissioners want to do something different than what we're doing now? Stay in status quo?
Would say let's just leave it alone for now.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, let's-
all right. Okay, then no action taken on number 7. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, number 8, discuss and approve racial profiling report submitted by Lavaca County Sheriff, which has been filed with the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. That's found on page 7 through 15. Josh, you want to say anything on it, or do you have anything to say? I don't think we do.
No,
Do I hear a motion on number 8?
I so move.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 3 to approve the racial profiling report submitted by Lavaca County Sheriff, which has been filed with the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Number 9, discuss and approve resolution to apply for the SB 8 Sheriff Immigration and Law Enforcement Grant Program for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. That's found at your bench, at the bench. We have Mr. Captain Josh Vaslavic, the Sheriff's Office. Do you want to say anything?
Sure. So the Senate Bill 8 established funding for sheriff's offices that participate in the 287G programs, which the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office does. As such, this grant specifically provides a certain amount of money depending on your county's population. We're on the lower tier of under 100,000 of current population. So that gets divvied out just like our SB 22 does from the comptroller's office. There's no cash match. We'll just be required to spend those monies on equipment or personnel in support of the 287G mission within the next 2 years.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to approve the resolution to apply for the SB 8 Sheriff Immigration and Law Enforcement Grant Program for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes.
Good work.
Number 10, also found at your bench, discuss and approve resolution to apply for the Operation Lone Star Grant fiscal year 2027 for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Let's see, a few
So
words.
again, we're requesting permission to submit a grant application to the governor's office for the Operation Lone Star Grant. This will be a continuation grant since we're currently members of or been awarded a grant from the governor's office for OLS. Those monies has no cash match. And it's to support the governor's mission of OLS.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I move that we approve the resolution to apply for Operation Lone Star Grant 2027 for Lavaca County Sheriff's Office.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the resolution to apply for the Operation Lone Star Grant for fiscal year 2027 for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Any other questions or comments?
Just one. Just one.
Go ahead. Sure.
You have an idea of the value of the grant?
Not currently.
Not currently.
You can go up to, I believe, in the millions. However, generally, say last year as an example, I believe we were awarded around the $230,000 mark. So you put in all your wants and needs, and then essentially they go through the application and decide what you're going to get. So we won't actually know what our grant award is until closer to the beginning of next fiscal year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 11, discuss and approve certificate of exemptions from subdivision requirements for Joanne Bluda, John Henry Pekar, and Carol Konvichka. That's found out of precinct 3, and that's found on page 16 through 18 in your packet.
Yes, basically, this is family land being divided up off of County Road 377A, which is a dead-end road. And it meets all the criteria and everything except they agreed to a 30-foot easement. And I just want it stated that the county, if this land ever sells, this county will never take it in as a complete county road.
Okay.
So with that, I'd like to turn that into a motion.
Okay. Nathan, you had something? Okay,
Yeah,
so the
state-
exemption agreement states that as well. Okay, great.
Second that motion.
Okay, a motion from precinct 3, second by precinct 1, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Joanne Buda, John Henry Pekar, and Carol Konvichka. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Number 12, also, I think that's found at your bench, at your tables. Discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Tracy Rose. That's found out at precinct 1 on page, it'll be found on page 19 through 25 in your packet.
This is a piece of property right west of town off of US Highway 90A. And it is the determination of Port Lavaca County that this certificate of exemption should be extended to Tracy K. Rose in the belief that the application adequately demonstrates eligibility for the exemption from Lavaca County subdivision regulation. So with that make a motion to approve the exemption.
Okay.
I second that.
Motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Tracy Rose in precinct 1. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. That moves us into consent. With one motion and second vote, we can approve the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by precinct 3,
Second.
second by precinct 2, to approve the consent agenda as provided. Any other questions or comments about that? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Our consent agenda is approved. Our microphones will go off until we're out of consent. All right, we are out of consent. Our microphones are back on, or should be back on. And with that, we will entertain item number 14, announce next meeting, which shall be March 10th, 2026, right here in this courtroom. We urge everyone to burn with caution. Always call your fires in to 798-2121 before you burn. And stay tuned. If we have to do an emergency burn order in the next 2 weeks, we will do so. We will monitor that with our fire chiefs. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Highly motivated. Immediately. Motion made by precinct 1. Seconded by precinct 2 to adjourn. Y'all want to stick around? If y'all want to stick around. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned till March 10th. Thank you all very much for participating.